Hey everyone, it's Jennifer. I am here with Puzzle Tumblers Presents, and I am doing another tutorial on the Silhouette Studio program. I use the Silhouette Studio Business Edition. Um, I don't work for Silhouette and I don't receive anything from them. I do this because I want you guys to see how much fun some of the things that are in this program can be. Um, the other thing you need to know is that when I do the tutorials, I am doing them in a way that I've learned that makes it easy for me. If there's another way that you've done it, that's fantastic. Continue doing it that way. Maybe my way could be a little easier. Who knows? I will also say that I am using the business edition. There are 3 other editions out there. There's the free edition, the designer edition, and the designer plus edition. The free edition may not be able to do this, but I will tell you that the designer plus and the designer will be able to do this, but they won't be able to save it as an SVG. Okay, so here is what we're going to do. I'm going to click on the text, cap lock, and type in the word that I want to use. I've decided to use my youngest daughter's name because most of the time I think that you guys are probably going to do this with your children's names. This is great for print and cut. This is awesome to print out on a big picture, and it's also really great for sublimation. So I hope that what I teach you today can benefit you in those ways or others. So all I'm going to do is highlight the entire name, go over to my fonts, and I'm going to choose a font that is bold. You need to make sure that it's thick and bold. Now, if you want to do it with curvy letters, you can. I have found that by doing it with the thicker, more bold letters, you have more space to put the picture in. I've chosen Super Boom. I got this off of Creative Fabrica. The next thing I'm going to do is make it bigger so that it's easier to work with. And I'm going to remove the color on the inside by coming up to my color palette and clicking on no color. The next thing you'll need to do is to click on your word, right click, and ungroup. If you do not ungroup, all of your letters will still remain together and you won't be able to move them around. I suggest highly that you do this before you get started with the next step. I've chosen some pictures of my daughter. I'm going to use this picture first, highlight my letter A, right click, and copy it, then bring it over to the picture that I've chosen. As you can see, the letter is small and you can sort of see it. It is on the top of the picture, which is where you want it to be. So I am going to click on my letter, highlight it, and I'm going to change it to a color that I'll be able to see better. So I've chosen white. I apologize, I clicked the wrong one. And I'm going to make my lines white. I'm going to move my picture around until I find where I would like for it to sit before I take my next step. You're going to left click the picture, and then you're going to come up here to, I apologize, we need to make sure that everything is highlighted. And you'll come up here to this button that says Group Selected Shapes. And that's going to group everything together, or it's going to highlight everything. You can do this a different way by left clicking and moving your mouse completely over the picture and the letter, and again, the letter is selected as well as the picture. Your next step is to come into your modify panel and crop your picture. That's how you make a photo into a letter. Now, the next thing that I do is something that I do for myself simply because I want it to stand out. Click on your letter, come to your offset. My offset lines are red. I'm going to change them to black. And I'm going to fill in my offset with black. So now everything is surrounding the letter. Choose your photo and your background, right click and group all, or come up here and click the group all button. If you don't do this, and I will show you what will happen, if you do not group everything when it comes time for you to move everything around, they aren't together. Your offset is still separate from your picture. So you need to make sure that you group everything together. All right, I'm going to do another one. Take our letter M, copy it, move it over here to the page we were already working on, make it bigger. And I'm only making it bigger so that it will fit better in my picture. Go into my album. We're going to pull up our next picture, which is Amber being Amber. Right click, copy the picture, and bring it over to where your letter M is. The background on my picture is dark, so I'm not able to see where my letter M is. So again, I'm going to change the color of the lines on my M. And here is a good example of what I was talking about earlier. You need to make sure that whatever you want the shape to be is on top of what you want the shape to look like. I'm going to repeat that again. Whatever you want your shape to be needs to be on top of whatever you want it to look like. So I'm going to send my picture background. I'm going to send it back. Highlight your picture, right click, and send back. That will bring my letter M to the top, and that way I can see exactly where the picture is sitting in my letter. Very good. Now I'm going to highlight it all, go to my modify screen, and crop. I now have another letter. I'm going to show you one other thing that this does, and I'm going to let you go and do what it is that you were wanting to do, because I'm hoping at this point that you guys have figured out what it is that I'm doing. Change the letters, the color of my lines to black, and the color of the offset to black as well. Highlight everything, right click, and group. Next, make it a little smaller so it'll fit next to the letter A, same size. And we'll do it one more time. Now what I'm going to show you is what happens if you do not have a picture that will fit inside of a letter perfectly. This one is a lot of fun. You're going to go to your next letter, right click, copy it, and bring it to the page that you're working on. Make it bigger, and go get your picture by going to your file and opening up a photo. Let's go with these two here. Make it smaller so that it fits on the page. Yes, I could probably go in, tell it to do about a 5x7, but this is just easier. Right click, copy, and bring it back to the letter that we're working on. Right click and paste it. You'll notice that my letter is behind again, so in order to see it, we're going to first change the color. And as you noticed a second ago, when I changed the color, it didn't make a difference in the picture. This is just so you're able to see it better. Highlight the picture, right-click, and send back. Now my letter B is on here. But when I put it in, it cuts out her face. And we don't want to do that. So we are going to go over to our color palette, go into the fill patterns. Now, if you haven't gone in to play with all of the patterns over here, please do. I will go into more detail later on about what these buttons are. But for right now, we're going to go into our advanced options, go down to the bottom of the screen, and you're going to look for this. It's called scale pattern. It is going to make a bunch of little bitty people. This way, if they're cut out here, they're not cut out here, they're not cut out here. That's just something fun to show you. This is great for if you're wanting to put a bunch of polka dots in there and you don't want to have to leave this page in order to do it. Just come up here and put it in scale. Highlight everything. Come over to our modify page, our modify panel, and crop. And now we have a bunch of Ambers and Michaelas in the letter B. Select the picture. We're going to offset. And fill in the background. Highlight everything, right-click, and group it together. Move this over and you'll see that I've already started the letter Amber, A-M-B. I have 2 more to do, 2 other pictures have been chosen, but this is how you do it. Simple cropping the photo to fit. That's how it works. I hope that I was able to show you something new today. And if you do this, please let me know. I would love to see what you do with it. But if you're getting into sublimation, think about how all of the letters can be sideways and they can be sublimated directly onto a cup. How much fun is it going to be if you also decide to do this letter, do a print and cut out of printable vinyl, put it on a cup, and give it to someone with their picture in their letter as opposed to just a one-colored letter. There's so much that you can do with this. I'm going to continue. I'm going to finish up the rest of her name, and I want to see what you've done. I hope that this has helped, and I hope that you guys have a fantastic day. Please be safe out there and be kind to one another.